The university is a Russell Group university, is ranked joint 7th in the UK for the quality of its research. And across the university, 92% of Queen Mary's research was assessed as internationally excellent or world leading. If you are interested in postgraduate study, the research that goes on in a university is obviously very, very important and something that you should also look into when you're looking for a program. We are a member of the Russell Group, so 24 universities in the UK. We receive over 3/4 of all university research grant and contract income in the UK. And this group is often perceived as some of the most prestigious universities in the UK, and indeed Queen Mary has a global reputation. We have over 200,000 alumni around the world. So if you come and study at Queen Mary, you'll be part of a global network of graduates. And pertinent to our talk today is that we're also a member of the Alan Turing Institute. So the Alan Turing Institute is the National Institute for Data Science and AI, which was founded in 2015, and Queen Mary was one of the founding members of that. The university itself has 19 schools, different institutes. We're going to focus today on courses in the Business and Management School, in the Electronic Engineering and Computer Science, and in the School of Mathematical Sciences. But you can see, obviously, the university has a whole host of programs, and there's often a lot of course options for you to find. Not many courses that we don't offer. When you're on the website, you can find the study drop-down button here, and this gives you the areas of study. So, as I say, we're going to focus on data science and data analytics today. We're a campus university, so all of the data science, business analytics programs are taught on our main campus building, which you can see here. Postgraduate students live kind of close to the campus as halls of residence nearby, probably around 10-minute journey time. But obviously, being a campus university, there is a strong student community. The student union plays a really, really important role in student experience. There's lots of societies, sports, academic, social, and obviously you can see we're very close to the business district. So you see the Gherkin highlighted there. So we're about a 20-minute walk to the financial city of London. We're also located close to Shoreditch, which is a tech hub in London. So a lot of tech startups have their offices in Shoreditch. It's kind of known as a tech tech fashion area of London, so it's very, very popular with our students. And we're also one tube stop away from Canary Wharf on the new Elizabeth line. So you have close connectivity to Canary Wharf, the financial district, and in the areas of study that we're looking at today, we have really strong relationships with employers in London, where you can gain valuable experience during your degrees. And I think one of the advantages of studying in London is the geographical proximity to these companies and the opportunity to network, to become part of startups, global companies, and really be at the cutting edge of kind of data analysis in London. I mentioned the campus facilities, so we have everything that you would expect: advice and counselling, cafes, careers and job centre, which I'll talk about a little bit about later. Skip that one. So, in terms of the geographical location on the tube map, very, very complicated, but like the BTS in Bangkok, it's quite easy to navigate once you get used to it. So we're located on the central line, on the district line also, so it's very easy to get into central London in around 10 to 15 minutes journey time on the tube. The tube is a fantastic way to get around London. I've lived in London for 12 years. I've never had to own a car or a motorbike or anything like that. I use the public transport network to get around. So when you come here, it's very, very easy to see the city and to enjoy being in London. I'm just going to show you three of the schools where the programs are based. So the School of Business and Management is based in the Francis Bancroft building. We have this is the Graduate Centre, so it's also the School of Economics and Finance. So this is where our postgraduate students have study centres. They have classrooms. On the top floor there, you can see the glass building. That's a postgraduate kind of community hub. So students can chill out there. There's study spaces. There's a great view of the city from there, so nice facilities. We have the School of Electronic Engineering and Computer Science. So you can see amongst the undergraduate programs, we have a lot of comp sci programs, but at postgrad level, big data science, AI, computing and information systems, Internet of Things, lots of different options. And on your left there, the School of Mathematical Sciences. So that's under the school under which data analytics falls. So you can see under the postgraduate section there. So the campus is quite compact. There's a lot of buildings, a lot of services. We're next to Regent's Canal, which runs next to the campus, so it's quite picturesque. There's a park opposite, and lots of student accommodation available in and around the centre. So on to the main topic of today, which is where I'm going to look quickly run through some of the course options that we have at Queen Mary. I want to start with, obviously, there's a lot of commonality between these subjects. They share a lot of similar skills, techniques. A lot of these students who will be interested in studying them will come from similar backgrounds. So if you're considering taking a course in this field, then these three courses are where I would suggest you focus your research, because it is up to you to determine which program is most suited to what you want to do. So there's never been more information available to prospective students than there is now. So that's one of the things I'm going to discuss, is some of the techniques on how to research the program, but also I'm going to cover off some of the differences from the start. So obviously one of the main differences is the different schools under which this program is taught. So you can see that business analytics is taught within the School of Business Management, and with the School of Mathematical Science. So it's a program taught by two schools. Big data science is taught by the School of Electronic Engineering and Computer Science, and data analytics is taught by the School of Mathematical Sciences. So already there is a little bit of a different emphasis between these three subjects, and I would assume that in different universities, kind of similar, there may be similar structures or different structures, but it's worth looking under what school or what faculty these programs are taught. That's important. How I see the similarities, that all of these programs are highly sought after skills. They look into principles of statistical analysis, machine learning techniques, programming, how business can use statistical information to inform business decisions and outcomes. Students will learn about how they apply a lot of the knowledge that they gain to business, finance, and scientific development. You may look into trading, risk systems, the optimization of business proposals or processes. And these skills are really highly in demand. So particularly in the UK, there's a deficit of students with mathematical and scientific skill sets. We need highly numerate data experts who can use statistical techniques and the latest technologies to deliver insights into strategy and operations. So obviously, different companies are at different points in their digitization and use of data, and all of these programs prepare students to enter into that space. It's a very innovative space. It will look very different in 10 years to what it looks now. But that's one of the exciting things about coming to London, is that these companies really want our graduates to work with them, to work on projects. And if you wanted to stay in the UK, obviously you can work for 2 years after you've graduated. And some students stay on after that because the employers will hire them as permanent members of staff and sponsor them to live in the UK. I'm going to talk about careers, but each of these programs lead to wide-ranging careers, be it in finance, in AI, across tech, retail, healthcare, and from a financial point of view, if you become a graduate from one of these programs, the chances are you'll start off on a high graduate starting salary. So many kind of data analyst, data science jobs start from £50,000, £55,000 base salaries. So obviously there's no guarantee of that, but if you take the program, network whilst you're here, get the relevant work experience, and take part in kind of some of the career activities that I'm going to highlight, you put yourself in a strong position to work in the sector. So I'm going to quickly cover off some of the main differences. So business analytics, as I say, is taught within the School of Business Management. It has a strong focus on management and leadership skills. It is probably of the three programs, the one that focuses more on kind of the business use of data. So you translate statistical data to improve business process. You focus on the tools and methodologies for business analytics. And you look into how leadership and organizations can use data to digitize business processes. So it's a systemic use of data in business. One of the differences is also the number of compulsory modules and number of electives that you can choose between these three programs. So in business analytics, you have 6 compulsory modules and you choose 3 electives out of 7. And you also do a group research project. So that differs to some of the other courses. And it is something that you should research when you're looking at these programs. Like, obviously, number one is the modules that are offered. What choice do I have? Because some of you, obviously, you'll come from different backgrounds. Some of you may be working in this sector already. Some have worked different experience. You may have identified where you need extra teaching or extra help or the skill sets that you want to develop. So obviously, the modules information that's on the course page is critically important at a postgraduate level, because as I've indicated, the difference in content is quite minuscule because it relates to the modules that you can take. So the big data science program is taught within the School of Electronic Engineering and Computer Science. So because of that, it has maybe more of a tech bias. You use computer science with modern methods of statistical analysis. You build tools using computer science. You look at machine learning. The program itself is accredited by the BCS, the Chartered Institute for Information Technology. So looking at how the program is accredited and by what organization will help you make a decision on which program you would like to take. So the business analytics program is not accredited by the BCS. So this is more of like an IT focused program. And as I say, you have 4 compulsory modules and you have 3 electives, and you have 2 streams available. And I'm going to show you the course page for big data science to make that clear, but there is a data science stream and a data engineer stream. So the structure of the program, the options available is very different to the business analytics one. And I should have highlighted at the start of this that for each of these programs, the basic structure is the same, that you do 2 semesters of teaching and then a 3rd semester essentially of a research project or a dissertation, normally a research project for these programs. So all of the course structure is the same, but the module choice will be slightly different. Lastly, onto the field of data analytics. So this is taught within the School of Mathematical Sciences. So again, probably more maths bias towards this program. You look at data and application to real world scenarios, which is common across the programs. Requires the strong use of probability and statistics with substantial mathematical content. So the entry requirement for this program requires slightly higher level maths than the other 2 programs. So that's worth checking out. What are the entry requirements for each program? They slightly differ. Obviously, normally they come from engineering background, a maths background, a science background, or a business background. But just have a look at what program does it need? Does it need kind of statistical maths? Do you need particular modules in the content of your undergraduate program? So for data analytics, you use statistical techniques to extract insights to inform everyday aspect of strategy. So it's very much mathematical focus and how you use maths and statistics to influence strategy. You have 3 compulsory modules, 5 electives from 12 offered. So you have a little bit more of a greater choice in modules than in the business analytics program. And you also do a research project. Now, one of the differences in the UK and one of the benefits of studying in the UK at a postgraduate level is that the master's programs are all 1 year in length. They are a mixture of small group tuition, private meetings with lecturers, also larger lectures, group projects. And one of the exciting things that we can offer is exposure to employers, particularly in for example, in the business analytics program, we work with companies on real world scenarios. So you'd be working with a finance company, for example, on a project that they're working on right now, and you can help them with that. And you could perhaps do that as part of your research project. And that obviously encourages students to build up their CV whilst they're taking our programs, gets you these contacts with work experience in London that you can leverage to get part-time work or full-time work after you've graduated. So there's a lot of opportunity whilst you're taking one of our programs to maximize the time being in a commercial and financial center that is London. So just want to drill down just onto the differences again. So data analytics is led by the maths. It's based on statistical principles, the emphasis on analyzing data, but plus machine learning techniques and tools. Gives students option to explore applications of data analytics across finance, business and science, depending on what most interests them. Business analytics, taught by School of Business and taught by maths. More emphasis on how businesses use data and on business strategy, less in depth on the scientific side of analytics. And a big data science program led by electronic engineering and computer science focuses on tech, machine learning and big data processing techniques to process massive amounts of unstructured data and aid the analysis to draw useful insights. For example, big data for financial services, credit card companies, retail banks, insurance firms, and II banks use big data for their financial services. The common problem amongst them is the massive use of multi-structured data living in multi-disparate systems, which can be solved by big data. So it's very much a technologically computer-based program. So let's have a quick look. I'm just going to quickly stop sharing my screen and just share with you some of the course pages. Let's have a look at big data science. So obviously each of these courses has their own course page, and this is essential for you to go and look at. I'm not going to read through it all because that'll be a little bit tedious because it's all there for you to read in your own time. But what I want to do is just basically show you the structure. So this kind of creates, you have the section here where it kind of talks through the main purposes of the program. You have the tuition fees here, what you'll study. And as I say, this degree is accredited by BCS, the Chartered Institute for IT, for the purposes of partially meeting the academic requirement for registrated as a chartered IT professional. So bits of information that particular to each program is obviously included in the what you'll study section. You have the structure, so it provides a bit more information on what is a research project. We have a module directory, which you can click on. And as I mentioned, you have the data scientist stream and the data engineer stream. So this is the only program of the three where you have this option. So stream 1 focuses on building scientific and analytic solutions to extract value and knowledge from data of different modalities encountered in many different business and research activities. This one is a data engineer. So this stream focuses on architecting and building scalable environments to ingest, process, manage, and serve massive amounts of data to create data-driven products and services. Now, obviously, there's a lot of common modules between the two. So you do applied stats, you do data mining, but then in this stream you do cloud computing, whereas in this stream you don't. In this stream you do natural language processing. In this stream you don't. So it's worth having a look at the structure, having a look at the modules, and coming to a decision as to what is the best fit for your future career aspirations. So we have a student testimonial here. We have the teaching, and we have the lecturer page here. So this is really, really important when you're looking at a postgraduate program, to look at the research background of the academics that are teaching on the program to make sure that it is a match to what you want to study. Also, because it informs you about the areas of research they may be supervising PhD students to align basically with any future you might want to do a particular project in a certain area, or is there a world-class expert that works in that field here? And that, if so, then hopefully you can work with them when you are studying your, you're working on your research project. So have a flick through, and that kind of shows you their background, their teaching, the research, publications. So that is really important when you're looking for a master's program to flick through and to see the different who is teaching on the program. Obviously gives you information about the school itself. So what facilities, and part of being a Russell Group university is that we have a lot of cutting edge tech available. Because we have a lot of PhDs and postgraduate researchers, obviously they need the tools, the relevant studios, the computer, the AI, the computer systems that drive on the research. So part of being a Russell Group is that we invest a lot of money into these services, and students have everything that they require when they're studying at Queen Mary. Have information about the school. And then at the end of each of these sections, we have a little bit of information on career paths. So our postgraduates go on to work in a wide variety of careers and sectors, including tech, healthcare, finance, consulting, marketing, academia. These are some of the sample jobs. So big data analyst, business analyst, tech analyst, data engineering, data scientist. And I think all of the three programs that we've looked at will have similar career outcomes. The difference is very subtle into kind of the particular areas that you want to go in. So by looking at the modules, you'll be able to find that. We have funding here, any scholarships available, you can click on the scholarship page. And here is the entry requirements. So this big data science requires a 2-1 or above undergraduate level in electronic engineering, computer science, maths, or a related discipline. So a 2-1 in Thai GP terms is normally like a 3.0 and above. We do accept students sometimes who are slightly below that. But you have to, sometimes students normally have to have been in work in the sector for a little while, or have some work related experience that they can talk about on their personal statement when they make the application to the course. And then excuse me, we have the English language requirement. So IELTS, you need 6.5 overall, with 6 in writing and 5.5 in reading, listening and speaking. And then information about the visas. So there's a lot of information on these course pages. I'm going to just quickly show you another page. Let's have a look at the business analytics one. So as I say, in this program, you learn from industry figures through connections with Citigroup, Nomura, Morgan Stanley, IBM, and HP. You build management and leadership skills, and you learn to use principal software for business analysts and graduate certifications that demonstrate your practical skills. So you have what you see, so 6 compulsory, 3 optional, and then a compulsory. And in this page, you just click down here and you can see all of the module information. So there is no shortcut to doing research. I cannot stress it enough that you really do just have to sit down, take the time to research, and then go and chat through with GoUni, go chat with a counsellor if you have any questions about the university or the program. But it's incumbent upon you as a student at this stage to really shortlist the programs that are of major interest, and it'll just take time to read through. And as part of the research project, every postgraduate course in the UK has a kind of research element. So in this, you'll work in a group to provide analysis of a problem or question using complex data from a business context. This data is usually supplied by a partner company. So as I said earlier, you're working on real life data for a real company. And here we have the lecturers on this program. So you skip through, read through all of these backgrounds. One of the good things at Queen Mary is that our faculty is a mixture of academic teachers, but also people who've worked in the sector. and who have transitioned to teaching in the sector. So we have people who've kind of worked in wealth management, investment banking, in finance from a data point of view, but who have maybe earned their money. They now want to work in a university and now they teach for us. So that, when you're looking at the faculty, is really important to have that mixture between purely academic practitioners, but also people who've got real world experience. And I think that's a valuable help to students, because you can really talk to somebody who's been on the front line of what it's like to work in a bank in data, for example. You have information about the School of Business, School of Maths, and then the career paths here. So I do like this quote. According to recent industry research, the biggest skills gaps in the tech sector are found in the field of business analytics. Therefore, graduates who have good intuition and can translate statistical data intelligently are rock stars in the organizations they work for. And I think if you take any of the three programs that we're discussing today, that will apply. So using maths, using computer science, you're going to do well. And they have the same entry requirements here. So 2 and above at undergraduate level in any subject, providing a degree contains good level of maths and statistics. Subjects likely to contain sufficient quantitative elements include maths, science, engineering, computer science, economics, and finance. So as I say, that is slightly different entry requirement to the big data science program. So make sure that the programs, your background, your academic background aligns with the program you're applying to. You can apply to 2 programs at Queen Mary. There's no harm in that if you're unsure. This one has a slightly higher IELTS requirement, 7 overall with 6 in writing and 6 reading, listening, and speaking. So check again that also you have the English level required when you're looking to apply. I'm going to go back to my presentation. And you can see that on the English, you have the alternative English requirements. And this gives you, perhaps if you've been taught at school overseas in English, you can look to see if there are any waivers for IELTS available for those programs. If you are planning to study in September and you haven't taken the IELTS test yet, then I would encourage you to do so. So at least you know what level you are. And hopefully you reach the level required already. But if not, you can plan on what to do, be that taking more English classes in Thailand and taking the test again, or considering one of our pre-sessional programs where we have 5-week, 9-week, and 13-week pre-sessional, and that allows you to make up 1 band on the IELTS program. So recent employers for each of these programs, you can see some big corporate companies there: Accenture, KPMG, JP Morgan, BNP. So obviously big blue chip companies, world famous global companies. And I think when you're part of Russell Group, you become part of a Queen Mary, a strong branded institution in London. These are the types of companies that our graduates have exposure to. So you're really placing yourself in a hot spot to grow your career. I do want to talk about the services that our careers team offer. Obviously, on each of the 3 programs, you will have the chance to work with companies on research projects, as I've indicated, but also the careers service is there to support you throughout your journey as well. So the individual school will have events for its students, but the Careers Centre is a central service there to help all international students. And they offer services like taster sessions, advertise part-time jobs. They offer project work that you can get involved with. They offer a mentoring scheme. At Queen Mary, we have what's called a Q incubator. That's like a small business startup. So if you get involved in that, probably the opportunity to get involved in kind of data analysis, looking at projections for these companies. Again, particularly in the tech sector, you're really in a good spot to gain experience. London has everything to offer, but it's not handed to you on a plate. You have to get involved and get out there and use the services that the university has. So, for example, this week we have a forthcoming at the end of this month. We have an International Students Week offered by our Careers Centre. You can see we have a CVs and covers letters session impressing UK employers. We have strategic job hunting, finding opportunities, a session on intercultural communication in the workplace, career skills for your future, alternative UK work visa options, interview techniques and networking skills, and international speed networking. So this all takes place in 1 week. And throughout the year, we have many companies come to the campus to speak to our students about the graduate opportunities available. So during your course, you're going to meet people who are working in the data sector, in the business analytics sector, in the data science sector, on the research projects that you're involved with. So it's really important to leverage those conversations, to meet people, to network, and see where it takes you. So I just wanted to end kind of my section of the presentation today. So tips for researching postgraduate courses in this field. So as I say, each of these 3 programs share a core content of looking at statistical data, looking at data, manipulating it, using it to make informed business decisions. Now that might be how a business goes about taking this data from here, putting it into a computer system through machine learning and have influencing the outcomes and how the tech side of it, how it works. Or it may be looking at business analytics from a strategic and leadership point of view, how this organization uses data and how can we use it better. So the differences are really quite small. So take time to read through the modules, the background of the professors, the core outcomes for the degree, what we want you to learn whilst you're here. And there's never been more opportunity to do that. So use the web page as a starting point. Look at the research institutes that Queen Mary is part of, so the Alan Turing Institute, and also the Queen Mary Digital Environment Research Institute, so DERI, which is data science. There's a weekly seminar that happens there every week. So look at what the content of these seminars, who's talking. Being in London, we get a lot of high-profile speakers come visit Queen Mary. Close proximity to the city, we get people who work in the city come and talk to us about data use in financial companies and finance companies. So it's not just the program, it's what's going on at the university and in a geographical location as well. So take time, look at the course structure, look at the modules offered and the module options that you have. So as I said, some of these programs have higher number of core modules, so you have no choice, you have to take those, and some have a higher number of elective modules. So make sure that you're comfortable with that. Talked about looking at a lecturer background. Does this align with your interests? Follow the social media channels for each school. So look at the School of Engineering, for example, on Instagram, we have the School of Electronic Engineering and Computer Science. By following the schools, that tells you what's going on. And you might think, oh, that talk's interesting. I really wish I could go to that. In that case, you might want to study on big data science. So there's each of the schools have an Instagram tag, and on Twitter also, and on LinkedIn. So whatever social media channel that you use, it's good research and good practice to follow the schools and to become familiar with the content of what's happening at the university, and that helps you make an informed decision. And lastly, I wanted to plug our postgraduate open day. So I'm not an academic on these programs, so my knowledge of the modules is not as strong as the academics who actually teach the modules. So by attending our online open day, you'll have the chance to interact with lecturers and from the specific programs from the specific school. So that is on the 22nd of March, and you can register online. It's very clear on the website, qmul.ac.uk/postgraduate/open day. You can register for that, and that's conducted online. So you can do it from Bangkok in Thailand, anywhere if you're outside of Bangkok, and it will also allow you to watch the sessions back through video content as well. And really, if you're thinking about studying at university, you should use the online open days to really go and ask some of the course specific questions that you might have that I'm unable to answer, but academics who can teach on the program as well. And also there's taster sessions available by registering information. I encourage you to do that, because that'll help you make the right decision as to which of these 3 programs is most suitable to you. That pretty much is it from me. I'm happy to take questions at the end. As I say, I'm not a teacher I'm not a lecturer on any of these programs. So if it's a course specific question, I might have to put you in touch with the relevant schools. But I'm happy to take any kind of general questions that you have about Queen Mary or being a Thai student in London. And you have my contact details there below. So we have r.duncan@qmul.ac.uk. And of course, we have our recruitment partner, GoUni in Thailand there, who can also provide you with the assistance in Bangkok from their offices as well. And I want to thank them today for providing the platform to speak to you today. And I hope that you go on to have some good discussions with them.
Okay, thank you, Robert, for presentation today. น้องๆครับ so everyone if you have any question please feel free to ask มีใครอยากจะถามคำถามอะไรเพิ่มเติมไหมครับสามารถที่จะเปิดไมค์ถามได้นะครับหรือว่าจะพิมพ์มาที่ chat box ก็ได้นะครับ
And as I say, I'll be in Thailand in a few weeks' time. So hopefully I'm going to have some time in the GoUni office to chat in person if you wanted to chat in person as well.
อันนี้เกี่ยวที่ได้ให้ผมเกี่ยวน้ำมันดูในลำน้ำ
Okay, since no one asking any question. Well, if you want to like, I mean, you guys, if you want to make an appointment with Robert, so I can help to do like the online chat or anything, right?
Yeah, and I think one of the great things about universities this year is obviously after COVID, we've been able to go and speak to students face to face. Some students like to come with their parents or partner and just ask some basic questions about living in London if they haven't been before. What's the transport like? What's the food like? What extracurricular opportunities are there? So I've talked about some of the societies, and really I think we had a strong emphasis on career preparation when you're taking part in the program. But obviously you want to have fun when you're in London as well. So I didn't really talk about that so much, but obviously London's a great place to live. You can do everything you want. So there's obviously that side of being a student in London as well.
โอเคก็ยังไงวันนี้ก็เดี๋ยวถ้าเกิดว่าน้องๆคนไหนมีคำถามอยากจะถามเป็นภาษาไทยก็ถามพี่ต่อหลังจากนี้ได้นะครับก็แล้วก็เดี๋ยวพี่อยากจะสรุปเรื่องของคอร์สต่างๆให้ฟังอีกนิดนึงก่อนที่จะจบโอเค so if no one has any questions so thank you Robert for today.
No problem. It's a difficult subject because it's the courses, as I say, they're all quite similar in terms of the background of the people that want to take them.
Yeah.
But the difference is kind of in the content and the schools and the modules. So make sure that you take the time to look at the content. And then we often have students that take one program and then go on to take a second program, a second master's. To really build up their skill set, and that's something to think about. But yeah, obviously you probably come from analytical backgrounds. Some of you may be working in the sector as well, and that's a good thing. So we have some students that come fresh from university to take a master's, but also people who have been working for 3 or 4 years and then want to upskill to get promotion at work or change or kind of just get upskill in terms of the area that they're working in. So on the program at Queen Mary, you'll have a mixture of fresh kind of graduates, but also people working in the sector, and that's a nice mix to bounce off because you can speak to people about, oh, you work there, what do you think about this? And I think it's a really creative academic environment for you to study in.
Okay. I think that's it for today. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for organising the session, and very much thank to the attendees for their time. And maybe I will see some of you in March. And best of luck with your plans. Be that you study at Queen Mary, hopefully, or elsewhere in the world.
Yeah.
But best of luck, everybody.
Okay. Have a good day.
Take care. Good evening.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
แล้วก็นี่เดี๋ยวก็หาย
โอเคก็เดี๋ยวพี่สรุปให้ฟังอีกนิดนึงแล้วกันนะครับก็วันนี้ของ Queenly เนี่ยเขาก็มีออฟเฟอร์คอร์สอยู่ประมาณ3คอร์สที่เกี่ยวกับตัว Data นะครับก็คือคอร์สแรกเนี่ยจะเป็นตัว Business Analytics ซึ่งคอร์สเนี้ยมันก็จะออกแนวในเชิงของทางด้าน Business มากกว่าก็น้องๆก็จะต้องแบบมีสกิลเกี่ยวกับเรื่องของ Stat นะครับเรื่องของมันก็จะโฟกัสในการใช้เครื่องมือต่างๆในตัวที่เกี่ยวกับเรื่องของ Data นะครับในตัว Business นะครับแล้วก็มีเรียนเรื่องของ Leadership ด้วยซึ่งตัวคอร์สเนี่ยก็จะอยู่ในเหมือนกับ Business School ของที่ Queenly นะครับคอร์สที่2เนี่ยจะเป็นเกี่ยวกับตัว Big Data Science อันนี้ออกแนวเป็น Computer Science เลยคือน้องควรจะต้องมีแบบว่าสกิลเรื่องของโปรแกรมมิ่งเรื่องของการเขียนโค้ดต่างๆนะครับแล้วก็อีกอันนึงเนี่ยจะเป็นตัว Data Analytics ตรงนี้จะอยู่ใน School of Mathematics ก็คือเรื่องของคณิตศาสตร์ล้วนๆเลยนะครับก็จะเป็นการวิเคราะห์ตัวเลขต่างๆเพื่อใช้ในสถานการณ์จริงด้านเกี่ยวกับธุรกิจนะครับก็ลองดูแล้วกันว่าใครที่ชอบคอร์สไหนสามารถที่จะไปเปิดดูตามเว็บไซต์ของมหาวิทยาลัยได้นะครับแล้วก็ถ้าน้องคนไหนที่อยากได้ข้อมูลเพิ่มเติมเกี่ยวกับมหาวิทยาลัยอื่นเนี่ยก็สามารถติดต่อมาที่พี่GoUniได้นะครับเดี๋ยวพี่คอนซัลท์เขาจะช่วยหาข้อมูลเพิ่มเติมให้เพราะว่าแต่ละมหาวิทยาลัยเนี่ยตัว entry requirement เรื่องของ GPA มันก็ไม่เหมือนกันนะครับเรื่องของตัว IELTS ก็แตกต่างกันดังนั้นเนี่ยเราก็ต้องมาดูเรื่องโปรไฟล์ของตัวน้องๆก่อนว่าจะแมทช์กับที่ไหนบ้างนะครับส่วนเรื่องของการสมัครเรียนเนี่ยก็ปีนี้ยังสมัครทันนะครับเพราะว่าทุกคนหลายๆคนเนี่ยก็ยังเตรียมเรื่องของเอกสารกันอยู่เรายังสามารถที่จะติดต่อมาที่GoUniเพื่อที่จะยื่นเอกสารสมัครเรียนได้นะครับทางมหาวิทยาลัยยังไม่ได้ปิดคอร์สนี้ดังนั้นเนี่ยถ้าถึงแม้ว่าใครจะยังไม่มีตัว IELTS นะครับเราก็สามารถที่จะยื่นเอกสารอื่นๆไปก่อนค่อยส่ง IELTS ตามไปทีหลังแล้วถ้าใครสอบ IELTS แล้วแบบคะแนนอาจจะไม่ถึงอย่างเงี้ยครับทาง Queenly หรือว่ามหาลัยอื่นๆเนี่ยเขาก็ยังที่จะมีคอร์ส pre-sessional นะครับให้เลือกเรียนอยู่สมมุติว่าถ้าเขาขอ IELTS 6.5 เงี้ยแล้วเราได้ IELTS อยู่ที่ประมาณ 5.5 ยังสามารถไปเรียนภาษาที่อังกฤษก่อนแล้วก็เรียนที่มหาลัยนั้นนะครับพอสอบผ่านปุ๊บก็สามารถต่อเข้าปริญญาโทได้นะครับมีน้องคนไหนที่อยากถามคำถามเป็นภาษาไทยก็ได้ครับตอนนี้ก็สามารถจะถามได้นะครับหรือจะพิมพ์เข้ามาก็ได้ครับดูเหมือนไม่ค่อยมีคนถามเลยนะโอเคถ้าอย่างนั้นวันนี้ก็พี่ขอปิดGoUni Series ณเวลานี้นะครับเดี๋ยวสัปดาห์หน้าเนี่ยเราจะมีเป็นซีรีส์เกี่ยวกับตัว Engineering นะครับวิศวะโดยมหาวิทยาลัยเบอร์มิงแฮมนะครับถ้าใครสนใจก็สามารถที่จะลงทะเบียนเพื่อที่จะเข้าร่วมตัวออนไลน์สัมมนาครั้งถัดไปได้นะครับยังไงวันนี้ขอบคุณทุกคนมากนะครับโอเคครับน้องพี่น้องจะถามอะไรหรือเปล่าครับโอเคน่าจะไม่มีแล้วเนาะขอบคุณครับโอเคเหลือแต่เรากันแล้วเนาะขอบคุณทุกคนมากครับบ๊ายบาย
ขอบคุณค่ะ